Another example is the privileged strategic partnership between Russia and yet another great civilization of Eurasia, which is India. The respectful, mutually beneficial, trusting relations that are typical of the relations between my country and BRICS member states and dozens of countries that cooperate with BRICS, and these are countries of the global south and the global east, demonstrate that constructive interaction between large players on the international arena representing different continents, religions, and affiliations is now one of the pillars of the multipolar world, advancing the interests of the global majority on the international arena. The multipolar world formation is international law and good neighborliness, respect for the rights and interests of the neighbors. The stability of the global system will largely depend upon whether or not we can make the West stop putting forward their non-legal interests and stay true to the UN Charter and the principles embodied in it. They should respect those interests in full, not selectively, as Europe and America often do, believing that they can do what they want. The founding fathers of the United Nations organizations have had the insight of opening that international organization, founding it on, quote, sovereign equality of states, unquote. This principle guarantees the respect for lawful rights and interests of any country, independently of its size, population size, or other parameters. If we look at the history of conflicts in the world after the formation of the United Nations organization, we must say that there is not one conflict of this kind where the West would have stuck to the principle of sovereign equality of states. You may revise the history of global conflicts over the past 80 years to prove me right. This position of the West has repeatedly caused crises in international relations. The selective approach to the application of the UN Charter was especially demonstrated in the case of Ukraine. We believe it is unacceptable to insist on the principle of territorial integrity that the West has, and which is supported by the Secretariat of the United Nations Organization and other international organizations, while they forget the principle of self-determination of nations. And is the principle of self-determination of nations that is the legal foundation of the process of decolonization, the process that brought freedom to a large number of the African continent and other regions of the world.